Stuff your mouth hole with Mama's delicious balls and be prepared to never look at a hand dryer the same way because...
Holy shit! A lot is happening.
That's right, Emma, my beautiful giantess. We have another action-packed episode of GenV that makes me proud my member is still intact. And in this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into the episode, its connection to the comics, the boys, and a whole lot more. And be sure to stick around till the end of the video where I go over the trailers to sleuth out what might be happening in the weeks ahead. Now make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. It's the only way I can afford VOT+.
VOT+, the world's premier super streaming service.
Sign up now.
Thank Godolkin my hearing isn't as bad as Greg's, the guard who Emma, aka Little Cricket, burrowed her way through at the end of episode 3. He's been kind of a running gag the last 2 episodes as the guard no one really cares about.
Bob?
I'm Greg. Hey, Greg will clean up later. Let's go.
Dr. Indira Shetty has come to inspect the aftermath of Sam's escape, with Dr. Cardosa here revealing that Sam was stronger than Golden Boy ever was. But why was Sam experimented on, against his will no less? Remember that Sam used to be institutionalized at Sage Grove, the same place the boys broke into in Season 2, but something happened in the last 3 years that prompted Vought to move him to the secret location known as the Woods. Could an event that happened in the boys have triggered Vought to create this secret program? Remember, Vought created Compound V to produce superpowered heroes. Could the Woods be a program to take those away, with Godolkin serving as a fresh pool for new subjects? In my episodes 1 to 3 video, I theorized that Godolkin is actually a prison. Marie has to walk through these metal detectors, the doors are made of reinforced steel like a jail cell, and Emma remarks that the windows can't open nor can break. Sam's escape puts Dean Shetty's job at risk. If Vought finds out they have a soup on the loose, a dangerous one from a secret op no less, her life is on the line. Remember last episode that Vought CEO Ashley Barrett warned Shetty that if word of the Woods got out, it could cost them their lives. Shetty finds the cutest little shoe from Emma. Now, we didn't get a confrontation between Emma and Shetty this episode, but no doubt she'll be using Emma to try and get to Sam. Somewhere on the outskirts of campus, Andre and the gang have found enough time to get out of their gala attire and locate Emma's tracker. This was given to her by Andre before she embarked on her quest to find Sam. Take a look at this meteor-like crater, which the others assume was likely caused by Sam, who has the ability to jump long distances like Queen Maeve. We'll see him do this as he leaves the drive-in. As Marie chastises Andre for putting her roommate up to this extremely dangerous mission, the trustees have come out with new rankings. The last time we had an update was in episode 2, and the only real change of note here is Marie moving from rank 8 to rank 2. Jordan calls the Woods a Mengele health clinic, a reference to Joseph Mengele, a Nazi physician who conducted inhumane and deadly experiments on prisoners at Auschwitz. Sounds a lot like Frederick Vought, who before defecting to America was a prominent Nazi geneticist. At the abandoned drive-in, a place Sam and Luke frequented as kids, we can see an interesting movie plays, Red Thunder, starring Soldier Boy, which we saw a brief clip of in Season 3.
And I'll stand by our Mujahideen brothers until the end.
Sam wants to see his brother, but Emma has to break it to him that Luke killed himself, something Sam doesn't take too well. It seems that everyone in Sam's life leaves him, and he fears Emma will leave him too. I also thought it was interesting how Emma, in her small form, jumped off this huge ledge and survived. So she's got to have some form of super strength as well. On VOT+, everyone's favorite streaming platform, sorry Amazon, Tech Knight's hit show The Whole Truth plays. Notice the suspiciously circular O in whole, something that makes a lot more sense when we find out Tech Knight's fetish for holes. We'll see him rim this glass, some scotch tape, and steal a circular bagel. In the comics, Tech Knight was an original member of Payback, the 1980s crime-fighting force we saw in Season 3, and he was more a parody of Iron Man than how he's depicted in GenV. Now, this isn't the first time Tech Knight has been mentioned in the boys' universe. In Season 1, at a meeting for those who were collateral damage in soup attacks, Sheila, the paraplegic, says,
After all, Tech Knight saved me. I just wish he'd been a little more gentle with my spine.
We can even see a newspaper clipping of this incident in Mother Milk's closet in Season 3. The Deep talks about how he convinced Tech Knight to drive a hybrid.
I mean, you take Tech Knight's Night Racer? Had a carbon footprint the size of a 727. Thanks to me, now he drives a hybrid.
In Season 2, after Stan Edgar chastises Homelander, he reminds him that he has a Tech Knight movie premiere to attend.
I believe you have a premiere of Tech Knight lives to go to?
Tech Knight has been tasked by Ashley Barrett to use his show and influence to help cover up the reason behind Golden Boy's death, and this will be done by finding a student to blame it on. And there's no one better for the task than a Supe whose powers are perfect for interrogation. He can sense elevated heart rates, beads of sweat, and even...
How long have you been eating Golden Boy's girlfriend's hole?
That too. His methods have resulted in death, with Dean Shetty reminding him how Ironcast killed himself the morning after Tech Knight interrogated him. We've seen Ironcast in The Boys Present Diabolical Episode 3, but in that version he's killed when the Great Wide Wonder flew through his chest. One of the things I love about this scene is all the stuff that's happening that isn't expressed through words. For example, Tech pours the Dean a drink, gives it to her, and later in the scene she pours it back into the decanter. Little stuff like that just makes this scene all the more interesting and what would have otherwise been mostly an exposition dump. Now Tech wants to see Sam, not knowing that Dean hasn't told anyone he's missing. This could prove disastrous for her if Tech finds this out and reports back to Ashley. Meanwhile, Andre deals with his anxiety by getting high and crashing with Kate. He hasn't had the time to process that his father, the superhero known as Polarity, not only knows about the woods, but is actively covering it up. It's sad that Andre so wanted to be like his father when he was growing up, and now that's all put into question. Rufus, everyone's favorite Homelander slash Jumanji-loving clairvoyant, is watching a Whole Truth episode on Shehemoth, a parody of She-Hulk from the comics, who at one time was under consideration to be a member of the Seven before Vought landed with Starlight. Marie has arrived hoping to use his powers to find Emma, but Rufus, being the little horn dog that he is, wants her to get a little closer. That's when she somehow passes out and awakens in his dorm room to find him naked. And I gotta admit, this gives off rapey vibes, although Rufus says, quote, "This is not what it looks like." Is he telling the truth here? Does his power perhaps require him to get naked? And is the blackout Marie experienced here connected to the one we'll see her have at the end of the episode? Not a huge spoiler, but the trailers do show us Rufus will be in more episodes with his manhood seemingly intact. Did it regenerate, or maybe it never happened in the first place? Some sort of effect of Rufus's power. Even though Marie handles Rufus just fine on her own, Jordan knocks down the door and rescues her, warning Marie that Tech Knight is on campus, and if he gets to her, it could seriously screw things up. Tech Knight proceeds to interview Andre, Jordan, and Kate, using his powers to determine what caused Golden Boy to snap. Did he find out that Kate was cheating on him with his best friend? Is that why he blew himself up? Andre storms from the interview, stating,
What kind of heroes to chicken shit to do anything heroic?
This is what separates him from his father. Polarity is more interested in the fame associated with being a superhero than actually saving people. Back at the theater, Emma has morphed to regular size, and we see some really cool posters like Red Thunder 2, and a romantic comedy starring Soldier Boy and Crimson Countess called Hero Seeking Hero. And after a delightful conversation about nipples, Sam opens up about how it's scary being on the outside without his brother. He always had Luke, and now he has nothing. But it looks like Emma is going to be there for him, signifying the start of a romantic relationship. In superhero branding class, Dean Shetty is concerned that Marie hasn't been stopping by for lunch. Last episode, Marie had developed a pretty strong friendship with the Dean, even coming over for breakfast. But at the gala, it was revealed the Dean was basically using Marie as a fundraising tool, putting into question the genuineness of their relationship. Shetty wants to know if she's seen Emma, no doubt probing Marie on the whereabouts of the girl who infiltrated the woods, but Marie says she has no idea. Even though Marie doesn't volunteer, special guest speaker Tech Knight demonstrates his interrogation techniques to the class, eventually getting Marie to disclose the truth that it was Jordan who held off Golden Boy so she could get away. Jordan is the real hero. This pisses off Shetty, who reminds Tech Knight to lay off the top 5 students, but he actually has other plans. Instead of pinning Golden Boy's mental break on a student, he's gonna pin it on her. He knows about Sam escaping the woods, and just wait till Vought hears about this. Sam's schizophrenia manifests in the form of TV's Jason Ritter starring in a puppet show called Avenue V, a take on Avenue Q. This vision outlines his greatest fear, that not only will Dr. Cardosa come after him, but now Emma too, and that if anything happens to her, it'll be his fault he couldn't protect her. This prompts him to go after Dr. Cardosa without Emma. No doubt he doesn't want to see her get hurt. This is also the second time we've seen the Deep Skills talk, although in season 2 they were voiced by Patton Oswalt.
Bullshit.
She just put her hands on your chest. You never even unzipped your suit.
Nothing like crushing your famous father's statue who already had part of his dick smashed in. I really hope over the course of the season his statue just gets worse and worse. Jordan here now has the balls, or lack of balls depending if she's in girl form, to get pissed at Marie for telling Tech Knight she was the real hero. Odd considering this is what Jordan wanted in episodes 2 and 3. Jordan wants her to tell the truth, but not if it means burying Marie in the process, and this revelation, that Jordan actually cares about her, leads to a kiss. Jordan's interest in Marie was hinted at very subtly in episode 1.
I told you.
Yeah, she's cool.
Emma barges in on their makeout sesh to warn them of Sam's intent to kill Dr. Cardosa, and thankfully Jordan knows where he lives because he had access to his information while working as Brink's TA. Meanwhile, Dean Shetty has brought Tech Knight to a secluded area of the woods to blackmail his ass. Somehow she has access to his medical records and has found a small tumor in his brain. This tumor not only being fatal, but is also the source of his fascination with holes. In exchange for leaving alone her and God U, she won't make public these truly horrifying security tapes. Tech Knight agrees, and we'll see his conclusion of the Golden Boy case as simply being the story of a student who snapped. Sam has tracked down Dr. Cardosa and is ready to kill him when Andre, Marie, Kate, and Emma arrive. He thinks Andre, Marie, and Kate are in on it, and rightfully so. Andre and Marie caught him the night he escaped, not knowing he was a prisoner, and Kate used her power on him to quiet him down years ago at Sage Grove. It's Emma, however, who saves the day by getting big, done by eating Mama's meatballs. She's able to pin Sam down while Marie exclaims they're gonna make this right. They're going to protect him. But suddenly the screen cuts to black and we're somehow back at the Godolkin dorms with Jordan sleeping by Marie's side. What the hell just happened? Now I have two theories here. The first, it has something to do with Rufus's power, since a similar blackout happened to Marie earlier that day caused by him. The second is Sam himself. Remember that he was able to give Golden Boy these weird visions. If he was able to alter Golden Boy's mind, could he not do the same to others? And what is the extent of this power? But let's get into our trailer sleuthing section and see what else we can learn about this in the season ahead. Be on the lookout for Ashley Barrett. Here she looks completely shocked at something. I wonder if she'll make a visit to God U. Check out this freakish pimply hand which seems to belong to someone in the woods. We'll see other inmates experiencing some sort of tests that cause pain and maybe even death. In a Red Band trailer, we'll see a woman in the standard inmate dress of gray sweater and pants shooting laser beams from her eyes, perhaps trying to escape. We'll also see Jordan fighting a girl in plain clothes with similar laser beams, but I can't really tell if they're the same person or not. More puppets. In fact, we'll see Sam completely destroy a bunch of puppets. Perhaps this is his way of dealing with the trauma of murder. It's easier to see them as puppets than real people. Here he is holding a decapitated puppet head in his Greg jumpsuit we saw him wearing this episode. Speaking of Sam, here he is at the dorms. Now I'm not sure if he actually becomes a student or the gang brings him here because they have no place else to take him. And here he is, seemingly healed from his dick explosion. I could totally be wrong, but I don't think his dick ever exploded. Rather, the whole scene and potentially beyond had something to do with his power. Here are some students scrambling to escape the Godolkin dorms as a huge metal gate shuts on them. Combine this with Andre showing off these steel gates that cover up the windows, and it's just more evidence the dorms are some sort of prison. Victoria Newman tells someone, who I think is likely Marie, that it's her shot at real power. She'll host an event with what appears to be host Cameron Coleman that sees both soup and anti-soup attendees. Someone here even with a super scream ability. Here we have Emma and Sam making out in front of a Polarity crane game. Are they back at the drive-in or somewhere else? We'll also see Puppet Emma, another shot of Rufus being pinned by Andre's ability to control metal. It looks like Rufus is at some sort of party and we see Andre throwing a keg at him. And if the trailers are any indication, this isn't the last time we'll see Golden Boy. We haven't seen this shot yet, which means we're in for either more flashbacks or more than one Golden Boy. But now I turn it over to you. What did you think of episode 4? Leave your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember...
Holy shit! A lot is happening.